Oh man, it's the grab bag!
The first time I came across the word ecology was when I was doing schoolwork, and I didn't really think much of it until much, much later on when I was playing a certain video game. A video game called Romancing Saga Minstrel Song. Romancing Saga for the PlayStation 2 was a remake of the original game with better graphics and changed gameplay. However, one of the big things about it is that it had a very unique art style. And like all the other Saga games, you are free to go explore the world. There is no leveling up system. Instead, you gain stat increases after random battles. And there is a quest line in this game series that is, well, all about ecology, which you have to go and fight specific types of monsters and clear them out without fighting the other types. So sometimes it says wipe out all the fish monsters, or wipe out all the plant monsters, or etc., etc. And that was the first time I really thought about ecology outside of, the real world, and actually thought about it outside of a school sense. And then I had my own experience with how ecology works in real life, dealing with insects. 2 years ago, I bought my house. And right next to my house is a Macintosh apple tree. And you see, I didn't clean the apples up the first year when they fell out of the tree, and we had lots and lots of bugs that were trying to eat the apples. And 2 years ago, we had the stink bug problem, where the summers were cold at night, and therefore the stink bugs would be coming inside the house during the night. Then we had to take care of them, and it was annoying. The following year was a very dry summer. So 2023, it was pretty dry here. And because of that, it was the perfect kind of weather for, hornets. And one group of hornets made a nest in our wall to the house. And I had to take care of that, but we were constantly having hornets come into the house, so I had to use the spray bottle filled with Dawn soap and water trick, which does work if you want to get rid of them. The soap spreads over their wings and then they can't fly, and it makes it much easier to deal with them. This year we're dealing with, it's a more humid, wet year, and we're dealing with black flies because of that apple tree. And even though I've been trying to get to take care of these apples, there's a lot of flies outside. Occasionally some of them will get inside through the window or something, so we have to take care of them, and it's very aggravating. But it really made me think about how certain factors affect the ecology in this area. And, it was pretty interesting seeing how this changed just between 3 different years. 2 years ago was pretty mild summer. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, wasn't too wet, wasn't too dry. But the one thing was it got cold at night, and stink bugs do not like the cold, which means that there were quite a few of them. The following year we had no stink bug problems, and that was because we had so many hornets. And in case you didn't know, hornets eat stink bugs. They're one of the few bugs out there that will, and we didn't have that problem. Instead, we had tons and tons of bees, and that was the problem there. And this year we're dealing with the black flies, like I said, and that's because of this apple tree. The thing is that I don't want to cut it down because it's pretty neat having my own apple tree, but the downside to the apple tree is, of course, there are insects, and I'm not using pesticides to take care of the insects. So over 3 years at this house, we've had 3 different kind of insect problems, and it's very interesting. I think that it'll be very interesting to see what happens next year with the weather, depending on which way it goes. And dealing with the problems as they arise. Lots of things happen when you become a homeowner that you don't really think about when you're not, and it's kind of aggravating sometimes with some of the things you have to deal with. But at the same time, it's also a little bit exciting. I mean, now I can look at this little scientific factoid about ecology directly and see how it directly affects my life. And, if you take a moment to pause and look, you can see how it goes for you too.
I sure hope that video didn't bug you too much. Anyways, if you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe, because, we could totally use that here. I'll see you next time.